Striker 6. This is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
There's a system to our north that's bringing snow to, I'd say, the northern half of the mitten and could clip us a little bit this morning. But what you can't see is how the wind is interacting with that system. We're going to have much gustier winds now that it's forming, and that's going to bring in the warm air that's to our west. Right now we're in the 20s. By the end of the day, we could be in the 50s, and then it's back down to the 20s again. Up and down temperature roller coasters are in our forecast, and we'll talk about it as 6 News This Morning continues.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News This Morning.
Talks will begin soon at the White House involving the war between Russia and Ukraine. Meanwhile, federal workers continue to wait for more possible layoff announcements. Good morning, Mid-Michigan. It's Friday, February 28th. I'm Jorma Duran.
And I'm Megan Vaselli. Thank you so much for joining us.
6 News is here for you now at this morning's top stories. This morning, the pathway to peace between Russia and Ukraine will be discussed at the White House as President Donald Trump plans to sit down with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky.
Meanwhile, federal agencies continue to brace for more mass firings. However, as Jared Hill reports, a new court ruling could offer a reprieve for some of these workers.
Working to end a war. Today, President Donald Trump is set to host Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House.
We're going to get along really well.
But the path to peace is unclear, with Trump refusing to offer solid security guarantees to Ukraine to fend off any future Russian invasion, instead presenting his own form of protection, a U.S. presence in the country to mine for rare minerals. Today's face-to-face comes after the two have traded insults over the past few weeks, with President Trump at one point calling Zelensky a dictator.
Did I say that? I can't believe I said that.
It's the latest in a revolving door of world leaders at the White House. Yesterday, with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, President Trump insisted Russia's Vladimir Putin would honor a peace deal, but he again held back on security specifics, despite Starmer's efforts.
The UK is ready to put boots on the ground and planes in the air to support a deal.
Not far from the White House, fired USAID workers were greeted with applause as they cleared out their offices. DOGE also terminated hundreds at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, including weather forecasters. But there is relief for some of the recently terminated probationary employees. A federal judge ruled those mass firings likely illegal, ordering a partial pause for the White House. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Michigan Democrats and Republicans continue to respond this morning to proposed federal legislation that would change how we register to vote.
It's called the SAVE Act, and if passed, would require people to provide proof of U.S. citizenship when they register.
Yeah, if passed, Americans would have to show a U.S. passport, birth certificate, or naturalization paperwork when registering to vote or updating their voter information. It also would establish criminal penalties for registering someone who does not have the proper documents. The National Conference of State Legislatures says so far, 8 states already require proof of citizenship to register to vote. However, Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson says she does not want to see our state added to that list. During a press conference, Secretary Benson called the SAVE Act a trick. She says in reality, the Trump administration is trying to, quote, block millions of American citizens from casting their ballot in future elections. However, many GOP lawmakers support it, including Congressman Tim Walberg, who said the SAVE Act will bolster election security and prevent non-citizens from voting illegally.
A court hearing for former Michigan Speaker of the House Lee Chatfield and his wife Stephanie will continue today to determine if they will be bound over for criminal trial. Lee Chatfield was the State House Speaker in 2019 and 2020 and served from 2015 to 2020. But last April, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel announced 13 felony charges against Chatfield and 2 felonies against his wife, alleging that they used nonprofit funds for personal use, including paying off credit cards and funding lavish vacations. Our media partners at MLive report that a brother of the ex-State House Speaker testified yesterday, saying he and others, including lobbyists, lawmakers, and campaign workers, took vacations to the Bahamas and other places, but he had no knowledge on who covered the cost. 6 News will keep you updated.
An investigation now underway this morning in Eaton County after a detached garage caught on fire. Fire crews say it started around 12:30 this morning on Bridge Street in Dimondale. Several departments responded to find the garage engulfed in flames. Investigators say the fire totaled 4 vehicles inside and also caused some damage to a nearby home. They say no one was hurt and the cause of the fire remains unknown. Stay with 6 News as we work to learn more.
Health officials confirmed to 6 News that a third Michigan child has died from the flu this season. This latest death took place in Macomb County. The state health department says the other 2 deaths took place in Wayne and Genesee counties. This latest Michigan case is among 86 such deaths reported across the country. The CDC has reported this is the worst flu season in more than 15 years.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Looking out on the Capitol camera, there isn't fog like yesterday, but there is wind, and that wind is going to be a menace today. I'm not just saying that because of my hair. It's going to be something that you'll have to battle as you walk outside. Think of that SpongeBob episode with the pizza, kind of like that. Looking at our temperature change, it's not too much cooler from yesterday, but now we're seeing temperatures that are in the 20s to low 30s. It's below freezing, so we have frost, and that'll melt away quickly as this warm air is brought in. Our wind speeds are picking up slowly but surely, around 5 to 10 miles an hour in many spots, and with it coming in from the southwest, that's bringing us the warmer weather. Now we have a wind advisory that takes effect at 10 o'clock this morning, lasts until 4 o'clock this evening. The National Weather Service has weather forecast offices all around the nation. Ours are in Grand Rapids and over in Detroit. They agree all the areas underneath their jurisdiction should have that wind advisory. That's for people and pets. Jazz likes to stay inside apparently, but if you have pets that like to go out, just know that the wind will be gusting at the strongest points in the afternoon, around 40 to 50 miles per hour. So if you have a smaller pet, keep an eye on them and keep the leash in hand.
Yeah,
Do pets actually blow away?
Oh yeah. Have you seen like all the TikToks? You get a strong gust of wind.
I
and they
don't
just go
have a TikTok.
Oh, you're missing out.
That has not come across my desk on the old school Facebook and Instagram reels.
Ducklings, small dogs, you name it. There's videos of them in the wind all over.
Those are funny, right? I mean,
if the animals are okay afterwards, it's funny.
right. Yeah.
All
Interesting
right.
stuff.
Coming up, Lansing community members continue their efforts to preserve history. The latest on the